New seismic swarm in Campi Flegrei is underway. Strongest shock is 4.0 so far, causing great concern amongst the Neapolitan population. And I'll tell you why. The INGV has said it's a 4.0 according to the data that they have released. But the residents are angry. They say this was not 4.0. It seemed like much, much more. So when the INGV confirmed it's 4.0, the controversy erupted. Well, erupting is maybe not the word that I should use at Campi Flegrei, but it erupted on social media. Many, especially residents of the red zones, like Pozzuoli and Pozzuoli and Quarto, they have expressed quite significant doubts about this official magnitude declaration. They say, They reported as, quote, "It was a sudden boom. Everything shook. It seemed much stronger." And this was not just like 2 to 3 people writing this. Hundreds of people went to social media and said that. So they must know this, guys, because basically the last 2 years, they're having these earthquakes on a daily basis almost. They had this massive earthquake swarm in February. They had a few 4s last year, this year, the year before. We just had basically, I think, June 30th, a 4.6. So they know how these magnitudes feel. And the earthquakes are basically most of the time in the same area, same depth. So these residents are now earthquake feeling experts. So many times have they run out on the streets, slept in their cars. So we have to take them serious. Well, they often say the officials are downplaying this because they don't want to cause any panic. They don't want to have to raise the alert levels. They don't want to hurt tourism. They don't want to hurt construction and businesses. Is that the case, guys? Really, I don't know, and I don't even want to hint at that. I'm reporting to you what's going on. But now, let's talk about the earthquake. 4.0 at the Supervolcano Campi Flegrei again, and they keep coming. We just had another 2.1, and they just said after the first 4.4 that they had in May last year, they said we expect tremors 10 times stronger than the 4.4 in May. That's what the local volcanologists were saying. And we saw 4.6 really, really strong. And now another one in the magnitude 4. If you're new here, you might say that's nothing. We have that in California, for example, all the time. That is a lot, guys, for a supervolcano that is active, that is in a bradyseismic phase, that shows major sign of unrest, accelerating signs of unrest, and now another magnitude 4. The press in Naples has caught up on it right away. The headlines are a strong earthquake struck Naples and the Flegreian fields. More than 6 million people in the greater Naples area. 9:14 in the morning, strong earthquake was widely felt because it was very shallow. Of course, in the direct Campi Flegrei area, it was felt, but also in numerous neighborhoods in the city of Naples. Reports are still coming in. It has created apprehension among the population. And according to the INGV, that's the National Institute of Geophysics and Volcanology, they're monitoring this dangerous supervolcano nonstop. They say magnitude 4 caused by the bradyseism, by something coming towards the surface, phenomenon of land rise, and increased gas emissions, increased earthquakes in quantity and in magnitude. Epicenter was located between Pozzuoli and the Neapolitan district of Bagnoli at a depth of only 2.4 kilometers. So shallow, that's why it was so widely felt. And the magnitude 4 earthquakes, if they rattle the people at night, they come running to the streets because they're worried that their homes might collapse on top of them. So that's why the fire department also reports the earthquake was clearly felt throughout much of Naples' historic center, which is bad. A lot of old buildings in Vomero, in Fui, Grotta, and in neighboring towns to the Phlegrean fields, the burning fields, Campi Flegrei. We have reports that it was felt in Quarto, Pozzuoli, Monte di Procida, and numerous reports have been received on social media and at the fire department. No damage to people or buildings, thankfully, have been reported so far. But guys, this just happened. So guys, I want you to have a look at this site here that lists the earthquakes above magnitude 1. But around this magnitude 4, before and after, we have many more earthquakes in the microseismic range 0.5, 0.8, 0.4. So it's rattling continuously. But look at this, July 18th, the magnitude 4.0. But we have several above magnitude 1 already, and I think we probably see more. So there was 1.0 at night at 1:44, and then 9:14 we had the magnitude 4.0. A few minutes later a 1.5, and basically a minute later another 1.5. But also, if we scroll down, look, we had earthquakes on the 15th, on the 14th, on the 10th, on the 9th, on the 6th, and it's not that long ago that we had on June 30th the 4.6. So shortly after the 4.6, another magnitude 4, guys. This is still on the same page. I don't even need to scroll down to the next page to find the last big one. And let's have a look at the epicenter of this magnitude 4. So if we zoom in, we can see it's Pozzuoli. It's Pozzuoli here. You see this here. You see Bagnoli here. And then you see the epicenter here. So this is in the area where we see most of the earthquakes. This is, if we zoom out, basically this is the Campi Flegrei caldera area with many calderas. But the most active area is, of course, here in this area where we also have the Solfatara. Here, the Solfatara in Pozzuoli. And of course, the people in Pozzuoli will have the most damage should there be a phreatic eruption, which is possible right now. Watch my videos. The INGV has just a few days, the president of the INGV has given a mind-blowing statement. But I've also made a video about another local geologist, Mario Tozzi, who said the eruption will happen. Check out my Campi Flegrei playlist. Look at that red line here. That's the Tangenziale di Napoli. Should there be an eruption or a major earthquake, everyone should try to evacuate to that road and then get away from there. Is that realistic? In my opinion, not, because this is so densely populated with narrow roads and old building, masonry buildings. Many of them will collapse and block these roads. That just on a side note. But I want to show you something else. So look at this graphic here. So there we have a lot of earthquakes, right? We have 2025, the earthquakes, but we do have, if you see here in the list, the magnitude 4.0, and you see this is the epicenter. So this is in an area where we see a lot of earthquakes, right? This is basically the main area. But as you can see, there was the 4.0, and then many others that we didn't have in the other list, 0.8, 0.1, 0.1, 0.5, this is non-determined yet, a 1.2, 0.4, 1.5, 1.5. The 1.2 wasn't even in the other list. So the 4.0, that is definitely, you see the depth here and you see the magnitude. And guys, I don't know what you think, but for me, this is concerning because the intervals between the large earthquakes, and guys, 4 is large for Campi Flegrei. So they keep getting more, they're getting stronger. We've just seen new heights with the 4.6. The experts are saying anything that's starting at magnitude 5.0, that will already be catastrophic for the greater Naples area. We will see a lot of homes collapse, a lot of homes, and many people will be ended by this. So we don't even need a phreatic eruption for that. But guys, the chances that we could see that are increasing, and more scientists are warning of this. And as you can see how densely populated this area is, if you look at satellite images, people are living on the volcano. That's why this is concerning. If something erupts in the water, we could also see a tsunami wave running towards the coast. Norwegian scientists have said if it erupts stronger in the middle of the Gulf of Pozzuoli, the waves could be as high as 100 feet. But it looks right now that the place of an eruption is likely going to be somewhere here in this area. The 4.6 had a little bit of an unusual location, but still within the caldera, guys. So this is the latest. I will keep you updated because we might get more reports about damages and what is happening, but I felt it, guys. Really, I just released a video about the fire-nado in Utah when a wildfire was mixed with a tornado, an absolutely rare, crazy phenomenon. And I was just uploading this video and I was saying, okay, I need to get some sleep. I'm really tired. But I felt, I don't know, when I look at the earthquakes today on Campi Flegrei, I somehow felt something's coming. So I thought, let me check this one last time. And I have checked it in the last 3 hours about every 10 minutes. So before I was about to shut down my computer and I checked the list and like, boom, there it is, 4.0, guys. I don't like it. I don't like it at all because they still haven't evacuated anybody, not even in the closest zone. And people are really living right on this area that has the highest Brady seismic activity. So the most likely spot for a phreatic eruptions. People sit on their balconies looking at these fumaroles coming out of the ground. Then we had the melting road. The volcano is melting infrastructure because it's so hot. I've made a video about this, guys. I put it in the end screen. So best is go to my page, my channel page, go to videos, go to recent and binge watch them. I always put some in the end screen, but it gives you a better overview. If you like what you see and want to support the channel, check the links in the description. Buy me a coffee to keep me going. On my Buy Me a Coffee site, link is in the description, and I will answer you with a video message if you leave me a message. And thanks for the supers here. If you want to become a supporting channel member, click the join button. Behind the scene videos, private stuff is there exclusively for you. Thanks for everyone who's supporting this channel in one way or the other. You guys are awesome. I'm on the pulse for you. I think I'm going to sleep a little bit, but I'll be back very soon. That's what the Terminator said. I'll be back. Count on that. I hope you are too. See you then, guys. Bye-bye.